This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. It really helps with the algorithm of this thing. Without further ado, let's get to the news now for Monday, March 30th of 2026. Yes, we are almost out of March. I don't know where time went. I have no idea. I just have no idea. I have no idea where time went. A canopy has been added to Savi's Workshop Courtyard at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This has to do with building more shade in the land, which obviously is, a great choice. We are now approaching our rainy season, so it's even if you want to take the rainy season out of this, just building a canopy to keep the sun, to keep the sun out of your eyes, that works very well too. We are in Florida. We are in one of the hottest states in the country. It's obviously it's not only is it very hot, but now it's now we're approaching our rainy season, so it's going to be very, very rainy. So it just makes more sense now that Disney wants to add more shade to their parks, which is, honestly, it's the right choice. It is absolutely the right choice. It makes a lot of sense. It really, really makes a lot of sense. So I applaud Disney for doing this. I really, really do. I really hope that, sometime down the road in the not too distant future, they can start focusing on Toy Story Land, because Toy Story Land is the same way. There's a little bit more shade in Galaxy's Edge, but there's not a lot in Toy Story Land. So hopefully, knock on wood, one of these years, they'll figure this out, and they'll be, and Disney will look at, our Toy Story Land and be like, we need to add more shade to this area of the park. So hopefully that will happen sooner rather than later, but only time will tell. But I am glad that they're fixing these issues. I'm really happy that they are fixing these issues. Epcot Splash Pad has been surrounded by mysterious construction walls, so we don't really know what's going on here. It could be malfunctioning. The splash pad could be malfunctioning, so that's why they turned it off, and they're now it's surrounded by construction walls. Again, it does make sense that they would want to fix this up now, before the very hot summer months come. Again, hopefully this will be fixed sooner rather than later. Maybe it broke, and but nobody really knows. Nobody really knows what happened or why. But if it is general maintenance, I am glad that they're dealing with this now. They are dealing with this now, and they won't have to deal with it, a couple months down the road, when it's going to be very, extremely hot in the surface of the sun. Okay. Ventilation panels have been painted green in Animation Courtyard at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So this is all for the reimagined Animation Courtyard with the animation building. I am blocked out right now because of the rest of spring breaks and then Easter. So I won't be going back until I think it's April. I think it's a couple days after. I know the block out ends the 9th, so I can go back the 10th. I can't remember if that's when I'm going back or not. I have to film Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin. So I have to go do that. So I don't know if I'll make it over to Hollywood Studios. Maybe I will. I'm not sure, but they're getting the animation building ready, because that's going to be opening in just a few months' time. So they're getting all this ready. All right, now here's a stupid story. A woman has been arrested for pouring coffee on guest in wheelchair at the Magic Kingdom. So here's what happened. No, the coffee was not hot. It was an iced coffee, first of all. So it wasn't a scalding hot coffee. They were on the ferry boat coming from the TTC, and they were going to the Magic Kingdom. They arrive at the Magic Kingdom. They get off the boat, and obviously it's very crowded, and this person's in a wheelchair. Now I don't know if it was a push wheelchair or if it was an electric wheelchair where they could drive it themselves. I don't know. But it was very from the information that I gather, it was very crowded. It is very crowded getting off that boat. So it was very crowded getting off, and the lady that had the coffee was trying to tell the person in the wheelchair to go faster. Obviously, the wheelchair person can't go faster, and said, I can't, you're going to have to go around. And this stupid moron poured the iced coffee on the woman, and got very, very angry with her. People, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Okay, look, picking on somebody, just a regular person, is bad enough. When you pick on somebody in a wheelchair that can't move fast enough, that can't walk, or can't walk distances, which is why they're in the wheelchair in the first place. Why are you picking on people in wheelchairs? Why are you picking on people in wheelchairs? All right, you really shouldn't pick on anybody. But okay, look, I understand you're at one of the top tourist destinations in the world. You want to see and do everything. I get it. But that does not mean that you get to treat people like shit. Okay? That does not guarantee you to treat people like garbage. All right? So I can't believe that security didn't see this or any other cast member. But if I was there, I would have been like, you're coming with me right now, and we're going to go to the nearest cast member. I would have taken the person in the wheelchair, and I would have taken that lady, and I would have been like, we're going to the cast members. I would have taken taken them to the cast members, and I would have turned that lady in. Because that's outrageous. That is outrageous. You do not do that. I don't know where people's humanity has gone. I don't know what happened. But our people's humanity it is gone. It is gone. People do not care. People don't give a rat's ass anymore about anyone else but themselves. And it's ridiculous. It is outrageous. It is outrageous and it's stupid. And if you're going to act that way, then you don't need to be at Walt Disney World. You do not need to be at Walt Disney World, and you sure as hell don't need to be in public. All right? So that's my say on the matter. Okay? I'm sure people are going to come in, they're going to be like, well, I don't care. I don't care. Picking on somebody is bad enough. When you pick on somebody that's in a wheelchair, that's going too far. That's going too far. And then that's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. If you're going to pick on somebody that's handicapped, we're going to have a problem. We're absolutely going to have a problem. So people don't do that. Don't do that. That's outrageous. That is outrageous behavior. And that could get you banned. That could get you banned from the parks. So please don't do that. All right? So that's my 2 cents on the subject, but come on. We need to start acting like compassionate human beings again. Instead of entitled jerks who think that, some people think that they're better than everybody else. Okay? You're not better than me. I am not better than you. All right? So we need to get back to that. We need to get back to that. I don't know what it's going to take, but we need to get back to it. We sure as hell need to get back to it. All right? So that's my rant and my potty mouth. But, stories like this, they really piss me off. They really make me angry. All right? So people, don't pick on people in wheelchairs, okay? Please do not pick on the handicapped. Do not pick on the handicapped folks. Just don't do that. That's outrageous. That's stupid. All right? But now let's move on. Because I don't want to spend my whole time on this story. Cinderella Castle painting progresses toward blue towers with patterns. So they're moving rapidly on this thing. I expect them to be probably done, probably in the next month or so. But I love this castle. I love the castle now that it's being returned to its original color scheme. So I love this. I really, really love this. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin soft opened today at the Magic Kingdom. Or if you're watching this tomorrow, it's soft opened on Monday. Again, like I said, I am blocked out, so I couldn't go. So, but again, I will be going in just after my blockouts. But look for that POV when I go back to the Magic Kingdom. But hopefully, if you did go to the Magic Kingdom today and you got to ride Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin, let me know. Let me know how you like the ride. I just hope that it's better than the version that came before. Okay, but you're gonna have, whoever watches this, let me know. Let me know if you like the ride better now, because I I'm really intrigued. I'm excited and I'm intrigued to go on this attraction. Disney Transport is reportedly restricting ridership to only resort guests during the busy Easter season. So, if you are not staying at a Disney resort, you will not be you will not be allowed access to ride the buses. They are checking your park tickets. They are checking your magic bands. So just keep this in mind. This is not permanent. This is not permanent. This is just because it's the busy spring break Easter season. So, people don't get up in arms and be like, oh, they're changing this again. They're changing this. And, you can you can no longer ride the buses unless you have a resort stay. That's okay. That's only in place right now. It's only in place right now because this is the busy Easter spring break holiday season. So just keep that in mind. That if you do not have a hotel stay, the Disney buses will not let you on. So just keep that in mind. All right. Speaking of Easter, Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny hop over to the Magic Kingdom for the 2026 meet and greet. So like they do every year, they are meeting guests at the Magic Kingdom. I really want to do this. I think that I'm going to upgrade my pass to the next level up. So I would be right now I am Pirate, which means I'm blocked out. The next level up would be Sorcerer, would be the Sorcerer's Pass, and that would be less blockout dates. So I would be able to go during Easter season. I think that's what I'm going to do because, I would like to meet Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny too. I just, I can't because I'm blocked out. So, when I upgrade my pass, I'll be able to do that. Updates underway for the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad queue at the Magic Kingdom. They're moving along on this. Is getting ready to open. In just not too long. it's gonna get ready to open. So I love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I think it's I really love that coaster. I'm not a big roller coaster person, but there are exceptions to that. I love Big Thunder Mountain. Barnstormer is I like the Barnstormer. I really, I love Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. I loved Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. Hopefully I'll love it with, when the Muppets take over. But, there are roller coasters that I do. I can't do Expedition Everest. That's too much for me. Space Mountain's all right. It's fine. It's a little bit jerky. It's every time I get off of that ride, I'm like, Disney, we've come a long way. We've come a long way with technology. So, I hope that, a Space Mountain refurb, is in the works because that ride needs TLC. That ride needs TLC. So I haven't been on Tron. I really want to go on Tron, but I I don't have a good back, so I can't really, leaning forward and then doing this, I just can't do that. I would have to be in a regular seat. Unfortunately, I've heard that the wait for the actual roller coaster seat is long. So, maybe someday I can go on Tron Light Cycle Run because I really want to ride it. Yeah, I really want to ride it. It looks like a lot of fun, but right. But until the line goes down for the regular seat, I won't be able to do it until then because my back will not allow me to, sit hunched over. So, but anyway, I've gone off the rails. I've gone off topic, which is what I tend to do. Let's get back to the show. But getting back to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, I really love that ride, and I hope that they plus the attraction. I really, really do. It's a Wonderful Shop windows have been demolished as Monstropolis construction continues at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, for those of you that don't know, It's a Wonderful Shop was the shop that was right by Muppet Vision 3D. It was a shop that was really shuttered during the pandemic. It never reopened after the parks had reopened. So I would assume that they're going to repurpose this as a store once Monstropolis opens. But that's for us to find out. I can't imagine that they wouldn't keep it a shop since the infrastructure is already there and everything. So, but again, what's the tagline for this show, kids? We're just gonna have to wait and see. Scaffolding is up near Tropical America's carousel site at Disney's Animal Kingdom. They're getting this, we're still about maybe a year away from Tropical America's, if that. It may be late 2027. It could be 2028. We don't really know. Disney hasn't really, confirmed anything yet. We don't have an exact date yet. I know that they were trying to push for a 2027 opening. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I really don't know. Now it could certainly be 2027. Maybe it'll be late 2027, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if they're going to open this whole thing, if they're going to open the whole thing at once, or if they're going to do it in phases, like they're going to open Indiana Jones first, and then they're going to open Encanto, and then they're going to open the carousel. I don't know. I have no idea. Or if they're just going to wait until everything is done. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, once this construction, gets close to completion, how they're going to open things. But well, again, kids, we're just going to have to wait and see. Okay. And our last story is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Well, this is late breaking news at this point, but Star Wars Rise of the Resistance at Disney's Hollywood Studios experienced delayed openings for 3 days in a row. This ride is probably the most complicated ride experience that Disney has ever built. Because it's not just one ride. It is not just one ride. It is a complete Star Wars experience. The whole experience is 18 minutes. You have the first pre-show with Rey, and then you go into the transport ship, and then that's your actual first ride. And then you get captured by the First Order. You get off, and then you're really in the queue for the actual ride. So you get off the transport, and then they put you in either line, and then you go through the line where the First Order tells you which side of the room you're on, and then you go into your holding cell for the second pre-show, and then the Resistance rescues you, and then you board your transport vehicle for your actual ride experience. So again, this whole thing is from start to finish takes about 18 to 20 minutes, depending on if you get caught anywhere or anything. But there's a lot of moving parts. A lot of moving parts. I would say this is probably the most complicated ride at the Disney parks. At least domestically. I don't know about overseas, but domestically, it's the most technological ride experience that Disney has ever done. There's there's a lot of moving parts. It takes a lot of people to make this ride work and go. A lot of cast members. So there's time and time again, it's going to experience some downtime. It is going to experience some downtime. I understand a lot of people get upset and everything, but again, Rise of the Resistance is the most complicated ride. What would you call it? The most complicated ride system at any of the parks. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts, and if one part breaks down, then then they have to shut the whole thing down and figure that out. So is it annoying? Yes, but again, it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of moving parts. It's not just you're getting on a ride. It's you've got a pre-show, and then you've got a pre-show, then you've got your ride, and then you're in line for the second pre-show, and then you get on the next ride. So there's 4 moving parts to this thing. So if one thing breaks down, then they have to shut it all down and figure it out. So Rise of the Resistance is one of those rides where you have to pack your patience. really have to pack your patience. And I know a lot of people, they get upset, they get angry, but Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is really different from any other ride at Walt Disney World or Disneyland for that matter. Okay, because there's a lot of moving parts, a lot. So, again, if you've never rode Rise of the Resistance, I have a video up on my Disney Ride channel, and I also have one up on this channel as well. I encourage you to go watch it because, not only is it a very cool experience, but it's also, you realize that there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stuff there's a lot of stuff, going on to make this ride or this experience work. So just keep that in mind, okay? Just keep that in mind. I know it's annoying when it goes down, but again, this is the most technologically advanced ride experience that Disney has ever done. So, but there you are. There's your news for this Monday. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel for more content. Hit that thumbs up. Again, yeah, it really, really helps the algorithm when you do. Helps get this video out to more people. I put this video up on my Facebook, on my Facebook page as well. A lot more views on Facebook than on YouTube. So, and again, a lot more likes on Facebook than YouTube. So, again, please go over to my channel, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, hit the thumbs up if you like it. Again, it really, really helps these videos. It really helps them get out to more people because that's what we want. We want as many people as we can possibly get. All right. We want as many people as we can to get knowledge on the Disney theme parks. All right. So I thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you right back here on Wednesday for Wednesday's show. Until then, y'all keep each other safe and healthy. And remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.